Is this the one, or is that one? Okay. All right, everybody, first of all, just want to thank you all for coming out here tonight. It means a lot to me that you were able to make it. I want to thank my friend Donnie for inviting me to do this in the first place. It means so much to me, Donnie, that you would have me come here for such an important event. For the kids, folks. Can we get a round of applause for Donnie for helping the kids? Come on. And, Donnie, I wanted to tell you that I watched The Sopranos for the first time recently, and I finally understand that whole Italian thing you've been doing. It makes a lot of sense. It's brilliant. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Jacob. This is my first time doing this here. I'm a comedian from Kenosha. I didn't get bussed in from Antioch like you know who. But I'm glad to be here in front of my people here, and guns in the car, though. Is it? I know a lot of comedians like to drink before their shows, and some comedians even drink on stage. It's not for me. I want you to know that. I don't do that. I respect this audience enough to wait till I drive home to start drinking. That's how I roll. Not a very religious person, personally. I'm not totally convinced by all those things, but my girlfriend used to be Christian until her sex changed. Now I call her, Christine. Thank you, Santa. Christine and I like to role play in bed together. I role play as a big lumberjack, and she role plays as someone who isn't disgusted to fuck me. So it ends up working out. I don't blame her for that, by the way. I understand I'm probably not in the best shape of my life. My first inclination that might be the case was when she started coming on my tits. Sent a pretty clear message. I just think relationships are harder now than they used to be. Like in the 50s, if you picture like Humphrey Bogart or whatever, does that guy seem like someone who works out or has ever seen a gym in his life? They just walk over with those beer belly and shit. But it's harder now. But in some ways, life is easier. Like with technology, I feel like, here's an example. If I'm in my house and I'm hungry and I want a sandwich, all I have to do is say, "Hey Alexa, order me a sandwich." And 15 minutes later, Jimmy John's will bring me that sandwich. 50 years ago, if the guy wanted a sandwich, he'd have to get off his fat ass, walk all the way to the kitchen, and make his wife make him that sandwich. So we got that over them, right? It's easier. The thing they don't tell you about Sex Offenders Anonymous? It's not really that anonymous if you think about it, So they all go to the church basement there by the elementary school to meet, and a guy will walk over to the group and he's like, "Hey, I'm Donnie Stancott, I'm a sex offender. I'm legally required to tell you everything about me." It's not that anonymous, is it? That's why I thanked Donnie to start off with, because it was only going to get worse for him. I called my friend a sex offender. Do you think it would be weird to come on your roommate's face? Can I get a show of hands? Do you think that would be weird to do that to your friend? No one's participating, so let's just move on. That's what my roommate told me. He said he thought it would be weird if I came on his face. It's not like I asked him or anything. That would be weird. He just told me unprovoked. I was just standing there over his bed masturbating, and he said he thought it would be weird. I broke up with my girlfriend recently, the fake one from those jokes earlier. And I broke up with her because she refused to wear a mask, and I take that stuff very seriously. It's not because I believe in COVID or anything, it's just that fucking face, Like, I'm just sick of it. I've become convinced that it's impossible to get people to agree on anything. It doesn't matter how obvious it is, no matter how reasonable you're being, people will just not agree with you. For example, if I said, I hate spiders, I want to get rid of all the spiders in the world, someone's still going to disagree with that. And I know what they're going to say. They're going to say, "Oh, well, like spiders are really important for the environment and stuff." Are they? Like, how important can they possibly be? And I know what they'll say to that. They'll say, "Well, the spiders build their web and they catch all the bad insects in the web." How bad are these other insects that spiders are better and we need them? Like, have you ever seen a spider catch a really bad grasshopper that was about to rape somebody? Like, I've never... And if not, I think I'd take that deal. Horses, though. Those are good animals. I like horses a lot. Because horses aren't always like they are now. You know, they used to be the shit. You know, nowadays, horses are just something that white businessmen give their bitchy daughters. But back in the day, believe me, I mean, people would ride horses into war. They were like tanks in the medieval era. They were transportation for people, and they were an investment. Because when you bought a horse, it was 1, 2, 3 years' salary just to buy a horse. So they took it seriously. And you know what happened to you in the Wild West if you stole somebody's horse? They would hang you by the neck until dead, which is an expression in case you don't understand. They would hang you by your neck until, well, you understand where I'm going. But my point is that I like horses because they used to be so important. They were transportation. They were a friend. They would stomp on spiders for you. They were like an iPhone that you could fuck. Thank you, everybody. That's my set. You've been, all right, I guess.